Tell me a bit about your internship.
So what's going on, guys? So my internship this summer was with a startup company called Next Gen Justice LLC. It was an 8-week internship in San Jose, California, other known as Silicon Valley. So this internship was a full stack developer internship. I was able to work with front end, back end. Here's a few of our tech stacks that we use: things like Postman, TypeScript, React for our front end, Nest.js for our back end, Olama to host our local LLM. Um, and we wanted to build a product that would help people. So we wanted to build a legal AI assistant that would be used in the early phases for lawyers, attorneys, law students, people of that nature, and eventually have a goal at working towards being for individuals to use it throughout their everyday life.
Describe the most important technical thing you learned.
So the most important technical thing I learned, I believe, was just the full stack aspect of software developing, just about front end frameworks, front end libraries, and how those front end libraries connect to API routes in the back end. So I was able to really get an understanding of how everything connects to each other, not necessarily just the individual aspects like front end and back end, but how it really connects with each other. And I have a small graphic right here that kind of shows you how. Through the client, it sends it to the web server, to the application server, and into the database. I was able to work with databases for my first time ever. And I was able to see different things like how S3 buckets, we worked with Mini.io, which is basically a personalized AWS service. And I was able to see how we could store data within S3 buckets in our database, and just how everything worked. And it was the first time I've ever worked with something like that. It was the first time I've ever seen a full stack application get built and developed, and it was extremely fun.
Tell me the most non-technical thing you learned.
So there was a bunch of non-technical things that I learned in this internship. I think one of the most important was working with a startup company. So instead of being sent to an internship and given a project to build, I was able to develop a company as well. So since Next Gen Justice is a startup, we had to work with what makes a startup fail, what makes a startup succeed, why are we doing this, who are we building this for, how are we going to get our company name out there, how are we going to get our product out there, how are we going to get venture capital. So that was the first time I've ever learned about venture capital. And outside of working with a startup, I was able to work with other majors. So we had a marketing major work with us as well. And that was the first time I've ever worked with any other majors. So we kind of had to see how we mixed with them, how he mixed with us, and what we could kind of do to make everything work together, and how his views differed from our views, and how we weren't clashing with each other, but how we made everything work. So that was probably the most non-technical thing that I worked with.
Explain what you feel most proud of what you accomplished.
So about 4 weeks in my 8-week internship, keep in mind, we had no front end, and our back end was a work of art, should I say. So we didn't really have anything working. We were still busy with a bunch of authentication services. We didn't really like our front end that we were dealt with. So we kind of just scrapped everything. And at our 4-week halfway through meeting, we didn't have anything. We had nothing to show. And our boss was basically like, we need to get something. So within 4 weeks, we built an entire new front end framework. We got a new authentication service, which we went through Clerk authentication, which prior it was Google Auth. So we were basically able to revert and turn everything around. We did a full 180. The first 4 weeks was a lot of struggle, a lot of errors, a lot of issues. And even though the first 4 weeks we didn't get much done, we were able to still turn around and build a prototype, and a very good prototype that we was able to demo on the final day.
That's awesome. What was your favorite part about your internship?
So my favorite part about the internship, outside of working with the full stack and getting a real world experience, I think honestly it was probably working with the team that I worked with and working in the climate that I worked in, right? So a lot of times you hear about software developer teams or any teams in general not liking each other. I feel like the team that we were with really got along. There was never any clashes, there was never any drama, and that could be rare with college students, right? So that was probably one of my favorite things. And it was 70 degrees outside every day in San Jose. There's no humidity, there's no rain, there was nothing like that. And outside of all of that, we were able to do some really fun things on the outside. So I went to Alcatraz Island for one. I was able to explore San Francisco, which is about 40 minutes north. It was just a really, really fun experience. And for me, it was the first time ever being in California. And so I was really blessed to be able to go out there and experience that. And I just want to acknowledge Dan Cooper, Diana Queen, Professor Nakazawa, and Professor Jan Pierce. I just want to thank you guys for giving me this opportunity. And I thank you to my team again for making the amazing climate that we had and just allowing everything to go smoothly this summer. So thank you guys.